change the world.
How does what you see
With
happen?
my own 2 hands.
That's not good. How does what you see at Mercy really reflect your idea of coming together in terms of gospel when it comes to food?
Well, all right. So let's just start where we were at, right? So if you've got a local community that confesses Christ, and you've got and is trying together to be faithful to Christ and the words of Christ and the gospel of Christ, and you've got the preaching of the word, and you've got the sacraments, which for us are primarily the Eucharist and baptism.
Right.
The thing that I would add to that.
Hey.
The thing that I would add to that is the works of mercy, and I think that's what is particularly distinctive about Mercy. And that is that we believe that just as vital as the preaching of the word, just as vital as the celebration of the sacraments, is the call to practice what in the Catholic tradition is called the works of mercy, which is sharing our food with the hungry, sharing our clothing with the naked, welcoming the stranger, visiting the sick, visiting the prisoner. That these actions of justice, these actions of solidarity with the poor and the oppressed, should be at the very heart of the church, right? So that a lot of churches obviously support that. A lot of churches believe in that,
right?
But it's much more peripheral. It's much more an add-on. It's an option. It's if you feel called to do this, here's a great volunteer opportunity.
Right.
But it's not.
It's time.
If you have time, but it's not at the core of what it is to be church. And so I think that is probably the most distinctive element of our ecclesiology. In that sense, is that we would bring in that from the periphery, and we'd say, no, this is at the center. If every church is expected to, there's some form of preaching. If every church there's some recognition of the sacraments, then we would say that in every church there ought to be the practice, the faithful and regular practice of the works of mercy. So what that means is, if the people of God are always in this feast of God, then it means that not only are we nourished with the bread of the Eucharist, but we have to literally share our bread with the hungry. And so that the table of communion essentially extends itself throughout. It happens on Sunday morning, but it happens throughout the week, metaphorically, as we continue to share our food with people who are around us who are hungry. And we live in a situation where there are a lot of hungry people.
Yeah, it's true.
So that for us, you can't have one without the other. We can't fully celebrate the Eucharist and not share our bread with someone who's hungry. We can't fully remember the waters of baptism and not share waters for people to bathe or to wash clothes